Hello people, let us look at foreign object in ear. Okay, this topic. So basically where are we? In external ear problems. So basically external ear means where? External ear means till here. So till the tympanic membrane, that's the eardrum, till there it is external ear. So we are talking about external ear, any foreign object we are reading here. So basically foreign object in ear. Okay, so we are looking at it under the ear canal. So basically under external ear canal, external auditory canal, under miscellaneous conditions in your textbook, you will read foreign object in ear. Okay, so now let us look at this. So now a foreign object in a ear can be what? A groundnut. Some groundnut went inside or something. So it's a non-living thing. But surprisingly, even living things can be there inside the ear. Okay, so let us look at non-living first. Okay. So, children, they may insert variety of foreign objects into the ear, like a piece of paper, sponge, grain, seeds like rice, wheat, maize. They can put their pencil, that is a chalk, basically. Okay. They can put a metallic ball bearings, etc. Okay. Adult, what will they put inside? Matchstick end. Okay. They usually use matchstick end, or sometimes they can put a cotton swab. Okay. So all these for children and adult, you can write all these examples what they will put inside the ear. Okay. So is it clear? So what and all objects as examples you will give. Okay. Then what else can be there? Vegetable. Okay, vegetable. Now vegetable also reached here, is it? So vegetable foreign objects, that means if probably it is something that can absorb water, so it will swell up in time and it will get impacted in the ear canal, or even may suppurate, that means can cause pus. So where are we, guys? So we are looking at the ear canal here. In the ear canal, what and all they can put, examples they gave you. Grains, chalk, right? Vegetable, interesting, lot of things. So if a vegetable or anything that absorbs water it'll absorb, it will become big, it will cause an impaction, right, in the ear canal. So it can even cause suppuration, that is pus, right? So now how will you remove this non-living thing? Okay. So let us understand that. How will we remove the non-living thing? Living we will come to in the next slide. Okay. Just hold on with the living. So how will we remove the foreign object in ear when it is non-living? So forceps removal, right? Let us see forceps removal. There is a photo here of forceps removal. So forceps removal is this one. So they are putting a forceps and pulling it out. So this is forceps removal. Then syringing is there. Let's look at syringing now. What is this? Is this syringing? Irrigation this is, right? Wait. So basically syringing, how they are saying, no, the procedure. So patient is seated with ear to be syringed towards the examiner. Okay, then. Okay, a towel is placed around his neck. A kidney tray is placed over the shoulder, held snugly by the patient. Patient's head is slightly tilted over the tray to collect the return fluid. Pinna is pulled backward and upward. Okay. And a stream of water from the ear syringe is directed along the posterior superior wall of the meatus. So water goes where? Like this, posterior superior wall of the meatus. Pressure of water builds up, okay? Pressure builds up here and expels this out, right? Okay, then at the end they will inspect the tympanic membrane and the ear canal, etc. Next they are talking about suction. Let's look at suction. So suction is here. So suction, guys, here, suction A. So basically, how will they do suction? Some pressure, some vacuum kind of thing which will suck, right? And then they are also talking about microscopic removal with special instruments. And then a fifth method, post-oral approach. So here they are saying if it is paper or a swab or a piece of sponge, you can remove it with the crocodile forceps. Okay, that one that opens its mouth upward with the crocodile forceps. Okay, this will be for some soft and irregular objects. Then if you are coming to something like grains, seeds, right, seed grains, smooth objects, right, then you can use syringing if they are smooth. Because if they are smooth, right, they will just glide out, right? If they are smooth, you just put a syringing and it will glide out, okay? So that's what they are saying. If they are smooth and all, you can use syringing, okay? Don't try to hold smooth things with forceps. It will go even more inside, then it will slip and go inside, okay? So for what will you use forceps? For something that is soft, you can press it and hold it and remove it out like sponge. Now if it is a seed grain you will do syringing, okay? Because it is a hard object. Seed grain, what will you use? Syringing, okay? So let's write here, wait. We are writing it down, guys. Forceps you will use for sponge, soft irregular foreign objects. Syringing you will use for seed grains, smooth objects, okay? Then let's go forward. If there are impacted foreign objects, right? If you have made some earlier attempt to extract anything, it hasn't come out. So then you can use general anesthesia and use an operating microscope. So when will you use that microscope and all that? Microscope and microscope. So microscope, general anesthesia with microscope, right? This you will use when they are saying, if it's impacted, right? If it's impacted, it's blocking, or if it is, you have tried to remove something before and it didn't come out, okay? So that you can write here. Impacted or some stubborn things which haven't come out. We are using the word stubborn, okay? The textbook didn't write that. Or let's say something like difficult, you couldn't remove it, okay? Then post-oral approach, they are saying, that is behind the ear, from behind the ear, right? From after the pinna, something. Post-oral. So basically, if you want to remove it, if it is impacted in the deep meatus, if it is medial to the isthmus, if it has become pushed to the middle ear, like that. Post-oral. So let us look at this. So basically post-oral, where and all, for what reasons? If it is deep meatus, if it has got pushed to the middle ear, or if it is medial to the isthmus. This is the isthmus, so medial to the isthmus, right? So for that they are using some post-oral approach. So then one more thing was mentioned was suction. They have not given any example in the textbook for this. So anyways, so now let's move on. So basically as a general note, they are saying that unskilled attempts, okay, to remove foreign objects, that may lacerate, it may lacerate the meatal lining, it may damage the tympanic membrane, or even it may damage the ear ossicles. So you should be skilled to do this work. Next, let's move on to living, okay. So living things sounds more scary, right? So living foreign objects in ear, the living things. So now let us look at the more horror things, okay? So basically mosquitoes, beetles, cockroach, ant, they may enter the ear canal. And why will they enter? Because they don't want to bite you or anything. That's what mostly it is, to find a home, nice, warm, dark, burrowing, narrow home. So for that only these insects would have come, okay? And they will cause irritation, they can cause pain. So actually according to this textbook, it says that you should not catch them alive. So you should kill them by putting oil, okay? You should put some oil and a household remedy. It is, they will put oil, okay? Spirit or chloroform water. Oil usually is a household remedy, okay? So what and all are the options? Oil, spirit, that is nothing but alcohol, or chloroform water, right? Oil they are saying is a household remedy. Okay. So now the insect will get killed and the insect can be removed as just like any other foreign object that you saw as non-living, right? So as oil. Basically the thing with this is, I was just watching a video and I saw that when they put oil, the insect instead of dying, it will come out also because it is not liking the environment, okay? It will come out alive also. So be ready to catch it when it comes out, okay? Then maggots in the ear. There is some other topic here. Maggots in the ear. Okay, so maggots in the ear, flies may be attracted to foul smelling ear discharge and they can lay eggs. Oh, so they will lay eggs which hatch out, oh, as maggots. Wow. So the eggs were laid and they are coming out as live insects. Wow. Okay, so this is commonly seen in the month of August, September, October. Good. there'll be severe pain with swelling, blood-stained, watery discharge. Wow. Maggots may be seen filling the ear canal. Yeeks. Okay. What will be the treatment? Treatment will be instilling chloroform water to kill the maggots. So you give chloroform water to kill these maggots. Okay. And then you will remove these similar to any foreign object. Right. You can use forceps because these will be soft. Right. Irregular. So you can press on them and you can remove them. Usually patients have discharging ears with perforation of the tympanic membrane. So syringing is not advisable. So in this case they are saying you use the forceps and remove them. Don't do syringing because obviously it is not a smooth object also. But they are saying that there could be perforation of the tympanic membrane. So if there's perforation, then how will it even reflect and come back, right? The water. So, okay. So did you understand? Let's take a recap of this entire video. So foreign objects in ear, let us say at least one object is there. So foreign object in ear. So basically we are studying it under this external auditory canal diseases. Then here, it could be a non-living object or a living object. Guys, we are taking a recap. Okay, please look. So non-living, how will you remove? You'll use forceps for irregular or soft. For soft and irregular foreign object like sponge and maggots, right? Let's write dead maggots. How will it be? Dead maggots. Okay. So you will use these forceps. Syringing you will use for seed, ball bearings if they are smooth. Remember here there should be no perforation of the tympanic membrane. Perforation of tympanic membrane, right? Then microscope you will use to with general anesthesia to remove anything that is impacted or if it is difficult to remove. Post-oral for all those deep things. Suction also can be used for certain things. Okay. Then we saw the living things. We saw a lot of examples from mosquito to cockroach to ant to beetles. Wow. So household remedy is putting oil so that the insect gets irritated. It dies or it just runs out. Actually, we saw some horrifying videos where such a kind of a caterpillar, not like a, those fast ones that just came out. Oops. Okay. Spirit, then chloroform water, all these you can use to kill the insect. Then you will remove it as any normal foreign object. Maggots in the ear, if they are there, how did they enter? The eggs are laid. Actually, eggs which were laid have become maggots, which are nothing but the larvae, right? So they will be, you can see them filling the ear canal. They can even perforate your tympanic membrane. So then, how will you do treatment? Give chloroform water. It will kill the maggots. Then you use the forceps, crocodile forceps, and remove these maggots. You can't do syringing because there could be perforation of the tympanic membrane. Also, anyways, you can use the forceps to hold these, right? That's all, guys. So we have finished this kind of horror topic, foreign object in ear. That's all for now. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.